Hello, everyone. Welcome into Nearing Nerdvana, my favorite show of the week.
Oh, wait. Sorry. There's an echo.
On who? On me?
You. Yeah.
Echoing. Hold on. Let me turn it down. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Testing.
There you go.
There we go.
You can
try that again. Welcome into Nearing Nerdvana, guys. We are so happy to have you guys. This is going to be a really fun night. We have American comic book writer Dennis Hopeless here. Dennis, how are you?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on.
Yay.
Welcome. Lucy and them have been talking back and forth. We have a bunch we're to cover. Before we get to that, quick shout out to our sponsors over at Cover Price. They are the ones that provide all of the data for the shows. Make sure you check out their site and use code Nerdvana14 for 1 month of their unlimited membership for 99 cents. Also, shout out to our sponsors at Bird City Comics. Right now, they are running a 4th of July sale on select books. You can buy one, get one. There's also a pretty nice Instagram giveaway in the works. You get like a $100 gift card and all kinds of jazz. So check out Bird City Comics. Yeah, let's get started. Dennis, we have so many questions for you. Let's just kick it off with the basics. Tell us how you got into this hobby, how you became a writer for comic books, where it all began.
I got into comics. So my father was, it turns out, I didn't know this as a child, but when my parents were younger, my dad was a little bit of a low rent criminal. And so he would do money embezzling things at work, and he was involved in some car chopping stuff. And so anyway, my dad would do strange sort of illegal things sometimes when I was a child. And he would go and break into people's garages when he was on these road trips for work to see if they had like old hot rod cars that he could then try to talk them out of. He wouldn't steal the cars, but he would trespass to look and see what was going on there. And in one of these barn digs, he found a big old dirty box of like 70s comics and brought them home for me, like around the time I was learning how to read. So anything I could bond with my dad with when I was a child, I was really excited about. So that's what got me into comics. As a kid, we didn't really have a comic shop in town for most of my childhood. And then like right around that time, I was like 10, 11, 12, and the early 90s Image stuff was going on. We did get a comic shop. So I was very excited about it during that period of time. Then the comic shop closed and I fell off until college. And then in college, I was doing a radio, TV, film degree and a creative writing degree. And I don't know, we had some sort of storyboarding project for one of my film classes. So I thought, well, comic books are kind of like storyboards. Yeah. And I went into the comic shop and I found Preacher, I found Kevin Smith's Green Arrow. Like it was right around the time that Ultimate Comics was about to jump off. So Marvel was doing a bunch of exciting stuff. And I remembered my love of comics and all of that passion from when I was a kid. And when I got out of school, I wanted to be a screenwriter, but I moved to Kansas City, Missouri, where there is no screenwriting, and got a job at a comic shop and met an artist, Kevin Mellon, and then decided like, oh, I could take my short film ideas and turn them into comic books. And that's sort of sideways how I broke into comics.
That is such an interesting story how you got into comics.
All starts with being a kind of criminal,
Yeah.
Smooth criminal.
I don't know how smooth he was. He was breaking into barns, but
that's funny.
What's funny about that story is at the time, it didn't occur to me that it was weird that he broke into someone's property and stole things. It just seemed like, oh yeah, Dad got me some stuff.
Just like when we go to the stores, I go to the mall, get my kids stuff. Your dad got you stuff. That's awesome. Really quickly, Nimesh, you are the best. Thank you so much. We saw that before we went live. You just... There aren't words to express our appreciation. So
thank you.
Lucy, you had a question, and then we'll get into comics.
Jeez.
Or do you want Jen to go first?
Go ahead, Jen, first.
I was curious if you, so like I've been figuring out, there's two different styles of writing. There's like the gardener and then the architect. Which one are you?
Naturally, I'm very much a gardener. I really love...
Dennis, what does that mean, gardener?
Where you plant the seed and let it grow and sort of like keep right. I think my understanding of that is an architect makes plans and plots things out and knows exactly where it's going and then builds that way. And a gardener is more like you plant a seed and you have a notion of where it's headed, but you can only kind of prune it and head it in that direction. And naturally, I'm a gardener. I like to let the characters figure out their own path. And I love writing conversations, and I like, character growth and change. However, what I found early in my career is my characters and my garden gets out of control if I don't have at least a loose plan for where I'm going. If you read my early work, I would write 4-issue miniseries that had 12-issue plots, and they just kind of stop. So I have figured out that the thing for me to do is to make more of a landscape architecture sort of a plan before I plant my garden, so I can grow within the confines of what I need to do.
Sounds smart. Lucy?
I don't know how well it works, but that's what.
That's good. So when you started like working for Marvel, like, do they I don't know if you can talk much, but like about that, but do they let you do just because we haven't had many writers on our show, so I don't really know how things work, but do they let you just kind of run with the story? Like, if there's going to be like a new character, do you have do they have to approve it, or you're able to free to do whatever you want with the story?
Yeah, for the most part, it's actually interesting, especially at Marvel. You pitch sort of notions or directions and then kind of figure out the story with the editor usually. Whereas with creator-owned comics, a publisher wants to know the beginning, middle, and end, and that you know what the hell you're doing, because there's no one in charge of making sure you stay in line. Also, I think at Marvel, they want to be able to zig and zag around other people's story ideas and what's happening in other books. So having a less solid, strict guidelines for where you're going makes it easier to do that. However, lots of times in my career at Marvel, we would have a plan and be heading toward that plan, and then they're like, "Oh, we're going to bring back adult Jean Grey, and she's going to be in an egg in the desert." And it's like, "Oh, I'm writing about the Phoenix Force and the teenage Jean Grey. How do I resolve that in 2 issues?" So it's a little bit more seat of your pants, collaborative with all of the editors and all of the other writers. But they give you a lot of rope. Like, my pitch for All New X-Men was basically something bad happens and the kids like try to go sow their oats on summer vacation in a van and end up in, like, it was all I said. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We'll put them in a van and you can have adventures on the road.
All you need is a van. I mean, Scooby-Doo.
Exactly. That was basically what my pitch was. So yeah, they give you a lot of rope usually. It's different when there's events. It's different, I think, on the bigger titles that have to tie into other stuff. You have to have more of a solid plan. But yeah, if you're doing kind of a B or C list book over on the side, they leave you alone.
Look at this comment.
Pretty awesome.
Just wanted to say to Dennis that Avengers Arena and Undercover is one of my favorite reads in the last 25 years across all publishers. You and Kev killed it.
Thank you. That book almost killed me, but still really, really proud of it. That series was my first ongoing series ever. And I took that and Cable and X-Force at the same time. They launched the same day and they both double shipped. And I had never written a story longer than 5 issues. And so that just the schedule of trying to learn how to be a professional comic book writer who did it on regular deadlines was hard enough. And then in that book, we were killing beloved teen characters in a Hunger Games sort of style situation. So the fire of hell that I got online from the fans of those characters with every issue, there was some therapy that had to be gone to deal with Avengers Arena. So the fact that came out like even in English and readable and that people like it, I'm really proud of it.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
It's interesting, isn't it, how like the artists get so much fame and attention? What were you gonna say, Lucy?
No, I was going to say the Karen's question. She had a little question. If they have new characters to introduce, do they give you creative control or is strictly their control?
Usually, you have control over the characters, especially the new characters you create at first. Now, if something blows up, it's a little bit different. Like, you create Spider-Gwen at some point. They're like, oh, okay, we're going to be careful with this character because it's a huge deal. They mostly leave you alone. The top-down notes that I got were mostly about like, we don't want to tell this story here. If we're going to do this, we want to make a big deal out of it. Like I did a Secret Wars book. It's set in the House of M universe. And in our storyline, Quicksilver and Namor were a couple. And that created a bunch of different strife, and a war was going to happen between the mutant world and the underwater world. And Marvel didn't say no to that. They said, if we're going to make it clear that these characters are gay or bi, we don't want it to happen in a miniseries that's a side part of this big event. We want it to be a bigger thing. So they made us take it out. But for the most part, they left us alone.
That's awesome.
That's so cool. We're getting so much insight here. Guys, we're at like roughly 30. Make sure you share out. I wanted to get this up to 60 before the night's over. Girls, do you have any more questions before we kick off the main parts?
I think, wait, did anybody? I'm trying to see if anybody had any idea.
Do you ever get nervous? Like when you did Darth Vader, do you ever get like, I don't know.
I should have been nervous when I wrote Darth Vader. Early on, yeah. Like I remember the first time I wrote, "Oh, my stars and garters" or whatever coming out of Beast's mouth. That was really exciting. And like the first Snikt that I got to write was really exciting. But at some point, the deadlines give you so much stress that it's hard to worry too much. I'm always nervous when a first issue comes out because you never know how it's going to be, how people are going to respond, what the people are going to say. And then, yeah, sometimes you accidentally piss off a lot of people, and that is stressful.
Is it no, like there's no bad press, or no?
Yeah, in general. So like the Darth Vader thing, one of our issues, we accidentally ran up against a very specific issue within the fan fiction community that I wasn't aware of. Like apparently there's fan fiction where people do like romance stories with Kylo Ren and Darth Vader, and the writers and fans of that get kind of savaged by Star Wars bros. Totally outside my purview. I didn't know that was a thing. And then we wrote a story about a woman on the Death Star falling in love with Darth Vader, and she gets killed at the end. They thought that that was commentary on this thing that I wasn't aware of. And it was real ugly for like a week. For a week, it was a thing. They like made a big deal. People were doing fan art of the character being able to be alive, and they gave her a name because she wasn't named in the book. And it was a whole thing. But after the fact, once I wasn't getting yelled at every day, I took it as a learning experience. And like one of the people that was having commentary on this said, there's so much of Star Wars is male power fantasy. Why would you create a new female character just to have her brutally murdered? It's a really good point. And it's a point that I hadn't considered. So, you know, it sucked for 2 weeks. I learned from it. And now it's just the thing. Now it's in the rear view and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's one thing that I have learned on this hobby. Like Star Wars fans are freaking something else. Some of them, not all of them.
Very, very,
some
very
of them.
passionate. Very passionate fans.
Extremely passionate ones. But like, I don't think I have met one of those fans yet, thank God. But yeah, I have seen some that go a little deep.
Yeah, when people, it's easy to yell at a stranger online because you're not seeing a person. You're not, you know, like I wasn't me. I was the writer of this story they hated, right? And so like that person is easy to hate and yell at and bury. And you have to figure out like, this isn't about me. This is about an experience they had with awful other people and feeling like the fandom doesn't support them. And, you know, like it was about something else. And I just got too close to that and I was fine. It actually hurt me. I felt bad for, you know, a couple weeks and then it wasn't an issue.
Yeah, I just want to think about the people like that they're fake, that they don't exist in real life. Like it's just, you know, kind of like, I don't know, like a show. It's not real.
Right.
Oh, okay.
All right. Let's see here. Let's get going on this. So guys, if you are just joining, we have the wonderful American comic book writer with us tonight, Dennis Hopeless. Even though that's your business name, right?
Yeah, it was originally pen name, and I used it and it was fine. And then I went through a divorce and decided it would make sense to go to my real name. And all that did was confuse people. And it was like the worst business decision. So now we're back to Dennis Hopeless. That's fine.
It's so much. I like it. It's
Love
memorable,
it.
you know, it sticks
Yeah.
with you. But all right. So the girls and I, every Tuesday, I don't know if you're familiar with our channel, but we do like a little market report on a different artist or writer, creator. So we kind of did a tiny one just to get the show started so people can learn a little bit about you. Jen, I'll let you introduce this one and then Dennis can elaborate.
So it's always fun to, like, I think Lucy asked you what was your first, because there's times like I thought it was this, and I'm like, listen, there's times I'm wrong, and then when you confirmed, I was like, sweet, like, yay.
Smart.
2007.
Yes. Yeah, that's Gearhead. That is a book about she's like a post-apocalyptic female Mad Max that drives a hot rod through the desert and beats people with a wrench. It is not my high-minded comic book choice. Yeah, essentially, I was working at a comic shop after college, and I met an artist, Kevin Mellon, who's still a good friend of mine, and convinced him to do a book with me. And we kind of had a notion for an idea, but then we talked about it too much, and it blew up into this massive world with all these characters that couldn't fit into 4 issues, and pitched it to Image initially, back when Eric Larson was the person that decided on yes or no at Image. And he was really kind and gave us really good notes. He's like, I really want to see what you guys do next. This is close, but it's not quite there, blah, blah, blah. So we didn't know what to do with it. So we found the submission guidelines for a few different small press companies and sent it to Sean O'Reilly at Arcana, which is like a small Canadian publisher. And he wrote back, this is really cool, Sean. And we stared at it for like 3 or 4 days trying to figure out. And then we realized he had attached a contract. Like he had said yes without saying yes. So yeah, we signed the contract and had to figure out how to do the rest of the series. So it's a weird, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where there was a huge like superhero supervillain fight that destroyed most of America, and it had been rebuilt. The superheroes won, but they rebuilt it into like a weird super fascist society where like everything's illegal and anybody who's ever committed a crime has to live in the wasteland outside the cities. And the main character is the daughter of like a Punisher-esque street level hero who had died in the war, and she figures out that's what her dad did. And then the super villain like oligarchs that run the world try to snuff her out because they, she's not clean enough, essentially. Like she doesn't fit into their perfect society. And then she like hooks up with some of the exiled villains and attacks the city, and it has no ending. Like I said, I plotted it for 12 issues. We only had 4, so it just stops. In the trade, we lie to you at the end and it says to be continued, even though there was no intention to ever continue with it. And it's all of the ideas we had at one point in life when I was 23, we crammed into 4 issues of comic book.
To be continued, and then you just left them hanging.
Well, would you ever go back to it?
Sure. Yeah. With this, I mean, we would. The problem is when you're doing your first books, you don't know how to promote it. This was early internet. Like, we could have promoted it on message boards, but we didn't really know how to do that. It was really hard to build an audience. We would go to comic conventions and sit at the Arcana booth and like hand out other books. And we made less than no money on it. Like, this thing made 0 money. I think it sold like 2,000 copies the first issue when it came out. And most of those were to the store that I worked at where we did our big first issue release. So yeah, like if there was someone wanted to give me money to make more Gearhead, I would totally finish that story.
So then that's, what you kind of answered the question if that was a small print run.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think we had, I don't know, I have 400 of them in the basement, so there's definitely some left over.
Oh my gosh. Well, there you go. If you guys want to purchase one from him.
Because this, that 240 is deceptive. There's some people in Canada that are selling it, but that's extra cost of shipping. So I kind of pegged this book with shipping around $9 to even like $15, $20, depending on who's selling it to you, like from where. And there's not like a ton of them. Like I checked a couple of shops. I was like, damn it. Like, and then I was looking for a digital copy.
You don't want to read this book is another
No?
thing. Like I'm really glad that this book exists because it's what started my career. But we didn't have any idea what we were doing.
That's great
And
marketing.
I remember when I first started doing comic shows and was meeting like my favorite writers, I'd go to their table and I'd buy their first stuff. I'm like, oh, cool, I get this. But it's sort of like the Green Day albums that happened before Dookie. Like, you don't necessarily want to see how the sausage was made.
Well, I mean, right now, like the way you're explaining it, it's like you make me want to read it now. Like it sounds so interesting.
We're sold.
You sold, yeah, we're sold.
Well, just think of it as a stepping stone to learning how to write comic books. But thank you.
Well,
But that's once you're first, right? Like, anyway.
Once you're first, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, Jen, what do we got here?
So trying to pick 5 was tough, right? I think this was made re-infamous by Jared Leto because it showed him reading it. And then just like...
My favorite photo of Jared Leto. Yeah, so Legion of Monsters. I'm sorry if I talk over you. I can explain it if that's what you're... Okay. Yeah, so this book, I was working at a sign shop doing like wide format printing. We had done Gearhead, and then our follow-up book, Love Struck, Kevin was drawing, but he had gotten paid work off of Gearhead, so it took like years and years. So it had been like 3 years, I think, since Gearhead had come out. And I had all these like false start comics that I had done with different artists. Then either the artist would get plucked away to go draw Hellboy, or the pitch wouldn't get picked up, or like whatever. So we had all these false starts, and it felt like I'm never going to get paid to do this. Like, I'm never going to have a real comic book career. Kevin's never going to finish Love Struck. But I had like 5 or 6 pages from all of these different false starts. And because I would go meet great artists at comic conventions, like they looked professional, they just weren't going anywhere. So I put together a Kinko's print out sample, like writing sample. And I created fake logos and made up fake like places that it was going to be published. Like, this is coming out from Oni in 2 years. That was all bullshit, because Marvel editors and DC editors can't read stuff that hasn't been published, like because of copyright stuff. So I just pretended this stuff was going to come out, and I sent it to all of my favorite Marvel and DC editors. Like, if I liked a book, I'd send it to the editor, and heard nothing. Like I got 0 emails, and nothing happened from it for like 10, 11 months. And then I'm sitting at work, and I got a text message, I think, from Alejandro Arbona, who was a editor at Marvel. And he's like, I've had your samples on my desk for like 6 months, and I was cleaning my desk off, and I flipped through it. This stuff's really good. Like, would you be interested in pitching me stuff for Marvel? So I like calmly responded, yeah, that'd be great. And I went outside and did a backflip and screamed into the yard of the sign shop. And then like 3 days later, we had a phone call set up to talk about like what he might be interested in pitching, or what I might be interested in pitching, or what sort of stories I liked. And Kieran Gillen was supposed to do a Legion of Monsters miniseries and couldn't do it because he had taken on something else, but it was already like slated and already had a budget, and already, I think Wando was already attached. And so he's like, hey, do you want to pitch Legion of Monsters? Like, if we can get a pitch through, this will go. Like, you can start writing it next week. So within 3 days, I went from I'm never going to do this for a living to I had this book. Wow. But I had to figure out what to do. And they were doing the book because they wanted to keep the Legion of Monsters copyright. Like, they have to put out every few years all books with these titles, or they lose the titles. And I could do whatever I wanted. But Rick Remender and Tony Moore had just done Frankencastle, which is where the Punisher turns into a Frankenstein monster and goes and lives in Monster Metropolis beneath Manhattan in the sewers. And that book established like Morbius and Werewolf by Night and some of the monster characters as like cops that were detectives in this Monster Metropolis. So my pitch was Elsa Bloodstone, who's a monster hunter and hates monsters, goes into Monster Metropolis to try to catch a monster that's killing people, and has to work with the Legion of Monsters cop characters. So it's this weird detective story that takes place in a monster city beneath New York.
Badass. And you can get it for 20 bucks raw, guys. You're looking at about $100 for 9.8, and it is on an upward trend. Very cool. All right.
I suppose that's because it has Morbius. I mean, can Morbius really be sending things up right now after that movie?
I mean,
I think it might be like Elsa and the Legion of Monsters.
Elsa's super hot right now, so that might be it too. Okay, next up, Jen, do you want to introduce it and then Dennis can elaborate?
So this is Avengers Arena from 2012, and this is the first of a couple characters, Colin Bloodstone and Deathlocket.
Yes. So this book it's one of my favorite things I've ever done. It's also the first ongoing I ever did, like I said earlier. Essentially, I was asked to pitch an Avengers Academy relaunch. Christos Gage was coming off of like a 2-year run on Avengers Academy. It had been kind of like a sleeper hit, had a strong fan base, but they wanted to relaunch with a new #1. And they kind of wanted to take it in a different direction. And they wanted to go a little bit darker. So initially, they wanted me to pitch like S.H.I.E.L.D. takes over Avengers Academy and makes it like in a military school, but we graduate all of the previous characters and I bring in a bunch of new recruits essentially. And I pitched that, but I pitched like 3 story arcs, I think. So like a year or so worth of issues. And my second story arc was there's like a Tri-Wizard tournament type of competition that's happening with the Avengers Academy and the Xavier School and some of the other Marvel schools. And a supervillain takes it over and turns it into Hunger Games. So that was just going to be like an arc. And my editor took that to lunch with the editor-in-chief and I can't think of his name, another big editor at Marvel. And they looked at the pitch, looked at all my stuff, saw that arc, and they're like, oh, that's the whole book. Like, that's the hook. Let's just do that. So I had to figure out how to make like a multi-year series out of just this one, I don't know, it's like a 5-issue arc. So all of the new characters that I created ended up being from the Braddock Academy, were the original Academy cast that I created. And then they let me pull in like some runaways and they let me bring back some of the Academy kids. And so, yeah, it's essentially Arcade decides it's too hard to kill superheroes in Murder World. So he creates a Murder World for the teen characters that's based on like Lord of the Flies and Hunger Games and Battle Royale. And so
have you watched, well, probably you have, right? Battle Royale.
Yeah, I had read the Battle Royale novel at some point before, but when I was preparing for this, I rewatched the first season of Survivor. I rewatched the Battle Royale movie. I watched. I read Hunger Games because the movies weren't out yet, and reread the thing I just said, the '60s novel about the kids with Piggy killing. Why can't I remember?
Children of the Flies. Something of the Flies. Island of the Flies.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies. Yeah.
Lord of the Flies.
I was very well versed in children murdering each other stories.
I know, especially my husband. Yeah, he's the one who introduced me to Asian movies and all that stuff. So when I read that it was kind of a little bit of Battle Royale, I got a little excited because that movie's crazy.
Yeah, well, our murder is a little bit less. There's less murder in it. It's less intense. But that was one of the things Axel said is someone has to die at the end of the first issue to prove that we're serious, which ended up being the most controversial thing I did until the Vader story, because I killed Metal. It was a beloved character from Christos's Avengers Academy run at the end of the first issue. And there are people online who still hate me and hate everything I do because I killed Metal in 2011 at the end of Avengers Arena #1. So spoiler, Metal dies at the end of
You're just creating enemies, huh? With your writing.
Unbeknownst to me, I did not think anyone would care. I had done a little bit of other work at Marvel, but people weren't that hot about Legion of Monsters. But yeah, I learned that when you kill characters, fans of those characters are displeased.
But that makes you like a little demigod. Like you can just kill people. You write a book and just kill everybody.
Yeah, you can.
I like that idea. You should do something like that. Then you'll have.
Yeah, if you're ever stumped, call me and I'll be like, Dennis, just kill all of them. For real. That is how it ends.
It's not a bad move.
No, it'll be fun. Let's see. What is it? Jen,
want to read the stats?
So average sale is $10-11, and then 9.8 recently sold, or average sale is $252, and it's on
Damn.
That is crazy. How much, like from a raw, like a $10 to
Is
a
it just the
200?
first issue?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been out of print for a minute. Like even they did a reprint of the whole thing in like one tray, like an omnibus, when the Runaways TV show happened, because it has some Runaways characters in it. But yeah, I can't keep them in stock. Like they sell really well at cons for me, and it's been out of print twice now. So that's probably why.
That's good. It's,
All right, let's
So-
keep cruising. This is the one that Lucy's probably going to want to talk about here for a hot second because
Yes.
actually, go ahead, Lucy. You explain.
This book, like I love this. I started working at a comic book shop, like right after I got pregnant, and a customer bought me this book. She came in and she's like, "Oh, I saw this and I just thought of you," and she gave me the book, and I was like, "Oh, this is so sweet." I didn't at the time, I didn't know I didn't know much about comics when I started working at the comic book shop, and then after that I started collecting, and this year, this year, I was pregnant again, and I posted a picture holding this book and me with my big old belly. And oh my God, I forgot his name. Kyle. He's like, "Oh, I sent this to one of my friends, Dennis, who wrote this book." And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." So I love this cover so much because you don't really see pregnant. Well, for me, I don't think pregnant characters, especially in the cover like this, and it's a superhero, you know. So I just thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, this is the thing that I'm probably most proud of at my time at Marvel. It is the most personal story I did, for sure. I've always sort of felt like I got off on the wrong floor at the writers' building. Like I showed up for work and they put me in the superhero floor for no apparent reason. And so the kinds of stories I like to write are hard to do. You have to do them in the corners of your superhero story because people have to be punched. And I was writing Spider-Woman. When I launched the Spider-Woman book, it was during Spider-Verse. And I stupidly said, "Oh, give me all the Spider-Verse plot points and I'll just write those into my book. And then people will really care." And instead I was playing like a crazy, put the puzzle together with the wrong shaped pieces and trying to build a thing that only made sense if you'd read 15 other comic books. And so the first 4 issues are like unreadable. Like it's real rough. It's much like Gearhead. I don't want you to read the first 4 issues of my Spider-Woman run. And so then when we got to do a new story that was outside the event, my whole thing was, Jessica Drew has decided she's tired of Avengers nonsense. She doesn't want to have to explain multiverses, and she doesn't have to fight stuff she can't explain anymore. She wants to just like go back to street level and help people and like be a super powered PI. But Jessica Drew has never, she's never been a normal person. Like she was basically grown in a lab by supervillain parents, and her memories were created, and she doesn't know how to live a real life. So real life smacks her in the face. Like that was what I pitched. And then we did that for a couple of arcs, and it was going really well. We had good fan buzz online, but the Secret Wars event was coming up, and the edict for Secret Wars is every book has to change massively after the Secret Wars, and there's an 8-month gap. So you end this issue, Secret Wars happens, and then when we come back, 8 months have passed and something changed. Well, I had like 3-month-old twins at home with my first kids, and I'm like in daddy mode. And I'm like, well, 8 months, like, let's make her pregnant. Like we want to hit her in the face with real life. There's nothing more real life than suddenly having a baby. And my editor was like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. Let's definitely do something else. But Secret Wars was such a scheduling nightmare for the editors because all these other books came out at the time that we kind of never had the conversation again. So I went to the Marvel Creative Retreat where all the editors and writers get together and figure out like the next year of stories. And you pitch what you're going to do with your book going forward. And everybody was pitching their post Secret Wars stories. And I had no other idea because I'd just been busy writing. And I went to lunch with Brian Bendis, Stan Slott, and this Nick Lowe, the Spider-Man editor at the time. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I'd really like to make her pregnant. And Brian and Dan to their credit, were both like, that's amazing. How did nobody else think of that? It's 8 months. Like, that's a perfect idea. And because I had their support, Nick's like, okay, pitch it to the room. So when it came to be my turn, I was just like, yeah, the book's about her, you know, struggling with real life. So it's been 8 months. When we make her pregnant? And it got real quiet. And then everybody in the room was like, that's a great idea. We should definitely do that. And was super enthusiastic about it. So somehow I snuck this very much not superhero idea into the book. And it ended up being like, yeah, like I said, it's the most personal story I've ever done, because she was dealing with learning how to be a mom and how to do her job and move forward with her life, despite the fact that everything had now changed at the same time I was. Like I was writing this book in the 4 hours a day I had to write, because I had to, like, that's when we had the nanny there and I had to take the kids the rest of the time, and the kids were keeping me up and I was sleeping in shifts. And I was able to put all of that stress and like life-changing stuff into the book and into Jess. And then the superhero side, because it wasn't kind of the point, we got to just have fun with it. It's like all of the bad guys in this are like 70s street level Spider-Man goofballs, and just takes out her aggression and her frustration on them. And yeah, it's this great, really, this self-contained thing that grew organically out of what was going on in my life and working with these amazing artists. Like Javier was the perfect artist to tell this story. Issue 5 of the arc where she's pregnant is the one right after the baby comes home. And I wrote a impossible to draw like stage play. It's all words. It's all me just like processing all of my thoughts about being a new parent. And I apologized. I'm like, I know this won't work as a comic, but like, here's draft 1. Like, tell me what you think. We'll cut stuff. And that brilliant man somehow figured out how to make it all fit. And like, she's walking around like walls of words, and he draws different panels where she's just like navigating her dirty apartment because the baby's destroyed everything. And it's one of my favorite things. And I don't know how he made it work, but yeah, like, so if you're going to read one of my things that's not creator owned, it's Spider-Woman's the one.
Wow, that you just make me love this book even more. That the story behind it, it's just, you made it even more special. That is so awesome. And I mean, like, I have it here. I had to put it up there.
I want one now, Lucy. We're all gonna want one. For
I have two. Actually, it was going up a little bit because, like, what James said, I did see it. Especially, I won the one out of 50, I believe it is. It's such a beautiful cover. Her sitting down in kind of like, you can see the little. It's just such an awesome cover. But I love cover A because she's just there. And when I posted that picture, I didn't realize that I was matching. I was wearing black leggings with a red shirt till somebody pointed out, and I was like, oh shoot, I am. And they're like, you didn't do it on purpose? I'm like, no, I didn't realize. I think my husband's the one, because he's the one who took the picture. I think he's the one who said it. Oh, you're matching. I was like, oh shoot. I am. But yeah, this is such a, now you made it even more special. I love this. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, they made for a brief time, they made the jacket, like you could buy the jacket because they were doing like Spider-Gwen costume stuff, and they made a Spider-Woman jacket with the motor jacket, which made it so that, yeah, a pregnant woman could very easily cosplay.
Oh my God.
Pregnant Jess, which I thought was awesome.
I guess I have to get pregnant again.
No.
My husband's like...
She just had one, Dennis. She has, how old's Mariah? Like
she's
2 months?
2 months. Yeah, she's 2 months.
Yeah, you should probably not.
Probably not.
I'm just kidding. No.
Given, you want to add to this one before I move on?
So like James pointed out, there's a ton of rumors, leaks, maybe rumors, that in the next Spider-Verse movie with Miles Morales from Sony, you're going to see this a couple times.
Do you know anything? Sorry, Jen. Do you know anything about that, Dennis?
I know for sure what everybody knows for sure, which is when they showed some clips of the movie at some sort of industry event, it showed pregnant Jessica Drew. It's a different version of pregnant Jessica Drew, but there's a pregnant Jessica Drew in this costume, I believe, in the footage that they showed. And I know that is part of drafts of the movie that have happened. But the way animation works, like things get cut and completely changed because they don't have to do reshoots. So who knows what'll end up in the actual movie. I think we're still a year out from Spider-Verse, but it looks like they are sticking with pregnant Jess playing some sort of role in the movie,
Okay,
which would
Jen,
be
sorry.
awesome.
Continue, Jen. Sorry, I just had to be before I forget.
Go ahead.
No. That was it. Go ahead.
Oh, just that because it was in the notes because we've seen it leaked, and then I saw James made the comment, so I just good job, James.
Yay.
And
I don't know. He didn't really give us a yes or a no. So
Spill the beans.
dude,
I hope so. My answer is I hope so, because
Yeah.
what happens when these things get put, like I said, we got another reprint of Avengers Arena years later because they made a Runaways movie, which is just tangential. So probably what will happen if she is in the movie and plays a big role is we'll get an omnibus of my Spider-Woman run, which would be incredible. And that's, so from my selfish standpoint, I want to be able to sell hardcover the whole thing at cons.
very cool. You
I
heard
hope
the man. Get out there and buy it, guys. If you haven't already, try to track one down because I'm going to.
I know.
Let's talk Vader. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so this series was really fun. Like I said, it had some controversy online when it came out, but basically I was asked to pitch 5, I think, different Darth Vader stories. And the premise was like, there's a classic episode of Batman the Animated Series called POV, where you see different versions of Batman. Like there's the Frank Miller Batman and like the Adam West Batman. And it's because different people are telling the story of having seen Batman and they describe it differently. So we did that with Darth Vader. So each issue is a different genre of story based on a like side character, like a nobody in the Star Wars universe runs into Vader in some way. And because of how that interaction goes, that's how they see Vader. So like this one, the first one, is told from the perspective of a little boy that lives on a planet that's been savaged by a Godzilla type monster. So people like live underground and only come out when the monster is sleeping to get their crops and stuff. And Vader's TIE fighter crash lands into the monster and wakes it up. And then Vader has to fight and kill the monster. So we told the whole thing like an epic poem, kind of, where the kid is watching this avenging Black Knight come down from space and kill the monster that's destroyed their world. So he thinks of Vader as this hero, when really Vader's just has to do this in order to survive, and he's Darth Vader. So we did that one. There's like a war story told from the perspective of captain of one of the Imperial, whatever the big triangle things are called. I can't think what they're called. And then there's the one with the woman that falls in love with him on the Death Star, and there's like a horror story. So it was really fun. It was a really fun project because each issue was so very different, but they were all surrounding Darth Vader, and I got to play with all the facets of Darth Vader.
I'm so ignorant here. What was the problem online then? Why were people upset?
Because the issue that's a romance story is about a nurse on the Death Star whose job it is to help out with the doctor that like deals with Vader's cybernetics. So he'll like get damaged in battle and he'll come in and have to fix it. And Vader like attacks and throws the doctor around and is really unkind to the doctor. The doctor is unkind to the nurse. So she thinks that Vader is like, decides inside her head that Vader is doing this because he knows that the doctor is evil and that they're going to be together. So she just like falls for him in her own head. And then she decides to tell him that. And so at the end of the story, she like goes to his quarters and sees him without his mask on. And he kills her because she saw him without his mask on and didn't care about her at all. And so that was by a certain segment of fan fiction writers or online who write romance stories with Kylo Ren and with Darth Vader. They thought that was us making a commentary on their stories because the character didn't have a name and was killed at the end of the story. So they thought we were saying something. We didn't know this was a thing. We didn't do that on purpose.
That's so funny because they're getting mad about something that you didn't even know there exist. Like
How
it's just
often
like
does it happen though? That's life. People get pissed off all the time, and you're not even aware of what you did.
Right.
Like,
And that's the lesson that I learned. I mean, number one, you can learn from other people's perspectives. So yeah, like some of the things that they said and the reasons they were upset made sense. And I think about that now when I'm pitching stories. Like, why are you creating a female character with no agency in the genre of storytelling that's so male centric? Like, why do that? I could have created any other character. Character could have, I didn't need to do that. Also, it's 2 weeks of people who don't know you being mad at your name, and then it goes away. So like the best thing to do is just be like, okay, that's not about me. and let it burn out and move on.
Now that you elaborate on it a little bit more, I get it a little bit more. I'm like, I don't get why people get so upset. But really quickly,
I want to.
Oh,
I was gonna do that.
thank you, Bullfrog Comics. You are awesome.
Okay. Oh wait, you got it. We didn't do our little dance.
Oh,
Come on.
We dance for money in a non-stripper way. Anytime we get super chats. I tried this yesterday on the guys show and it did not go over well.
I
Guys
saw
are
that.
all
What's happening? Yeah.
They didn't want to dance?
No,
they
they
just didn't
didn't.
know how. Like all the guys, for whatever reason, automatically go robot on me. Like that's
Yeah, we dance for the money.
So the reason why I liked it is it kind of reminded me, besides from that Batman episode, it reminded me a lot of Starkiller and how Vader was with that. So I did remember seeing some of the hate being like, dude, did you not read any of the Dark Horse comics? And like to the people who are mad, it's like that's
Right.
how Vader is. Like it's not. So yeah, I liked it.
I mean, kills a bunch of children in one of the movies. Like he's not a nice person, but you know.
See, I'm not even a Star Wars expert, and I got that. Shout out to Cover Price. They are in the chat right now. Hello, and make sure you guys check them out. The code is in the description. So now let's get to the juiciest part of the show. Dennis, you have an all-new project coming up. It hits stores, I believe, at the end of this month. So
Yes.
let's give the people a little bit of a taste. Can you give everyone in the chat a brief synopsis about Hard Eyes?
Yeah, it's a little bit like Romeo and Juliet after the monster apocalypse. It's about two young people meet in a world that's been destroyed by like Lovecraftian elder god creatures, and the few remnants of humanity that still remain, like obviously don't trust each other and have to hide out and are avoiding these sanity-eating monsters that are everywhere. And this kid falls in love, like meets this girl and immediately falls in love with her because she's, you know, like fun and not afraid of anything and alive. And his family sees her as like a manic pixie nightmare and doesn't believe anything she says. And so it starts out as sort of a tragic love story with these two young people that meet and fall in love. And then it goes in insane directions because of what's actually happening and connections with the monsters and the apocalypse. And it is, most importantly, Victor Ibanez, who drew this thing, is doing the work of his life, and he's amazing to begin with. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And Addison Duke, who did the colors, is like the perfect person to be working with Victor. And I'm really, really proud of it. It's a thing that came out of Victor and I wanting to work together again after our Jean Grey run, and all of the like weird feelings of depression and loneliness, and are we ever going to interact with other humans again that happened during the pandemic? We kind of like took that and turned it into this monster comic. So I can't wait for people to see it. It's been a long time coming, but I'm really excited about it.
I know. I was just like, I was gonna ask, like, how did you come up with this idea? But the pandemic, that's what it helped you.
Yeah. So Victor and I did a Jean Grey run, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, and his art, like Victor can draw anything, but he draws the shit out of everything. Like there's a scene in this book that takes place in a bookstore, and most artists would draw the bookstore once, and then you just draw the talking heads, so you don't have to draw a billion books. Victor drew the most beautiful bookstore that has ever existed in the comic book page on every panel. Like for 3 pages, he just drew every book and every nook and cranny and like crown molding and all this stuff. And he does that with everything. But also he's really great at character acting and like little touches of emotion and things that like in my dialogue heavy comics are really important. And I loved that working with him on Jean Grey. And we've always wanted to do something together. So then, yeah, like during the pandemic when we all got pencils down and I was kind of frantically doing work around the house because I felt like a loser because I didn't have any work to do, Victor posted this image of Lupe, our main character, with like a crazy squid monster. And I'm like, hey man, what is this? And he's like, it's this idea I have for a book. You want to write it? And so yeah, like that combined with my weird COVID depression is what turned into Hard Eyes.
That's amazing. I just, it's so much going on in this that I love that. I mean, you want to see every little detail, so much detail in one page is crazy. I love it.
He's a crazy person. Yeah, like every page. And there's a famous to me page from our Jean Grey run where I said, let's do like a Jack Kirby cutout where we see the two characters standing in the room talking, and then below them we see like a Reaver hive. So there's a bunch of bad guys that are in all these floors beneath that are running up with guns to get them, but they don't know about it yet, right? So I'm seeing that as like a flat cutout. Victor drew it in perspective. So he cut the world at like a 3/4 view and drew 3-dimensional every level. It's just this amazing double-page spread that he did. And it's just how his brain works. Like he wants to give you the most detailed, most beautiful version of everything everywhere on the page. And it's just stunning.
Okay, so now people want a Bird City cover exclusive.
We didn't have time. I think this is already it's on FOC until when?
FOC is this. It got pushed. Vault is really, really behind the book. They're really excited about it, so they pushed our FOC and our release date by a month in order to have more time to promote it. So I think it now comes out on the 17th of August, and so the middle of this month is FOC.
Oh,
yeah, it's
awesome.
so cool. With number ones, it is incredibly important that your cover, when somebody is walking by, they get captured by that. Because I mean, aside from they don't know what the title's about, they don't know anything about it. You have to have an image that draws people in, and you nailed it. This is such. I saw that when you first sent the image, I was like, oh my God, this is perfect. Great artwork. And we actually have a couple of the interior pages or pieces of the artwork to share with you guys as well. Dennis, do you want to tell us what's happening here in these two scenes?
Yeah, so this is like their meet cute. They meet in San Antonio. She's wandering the empty post-apocalyptic streets by herself, and like doesn't seem to be afraid, even though clearly she should be. And then this is when Rico sees her through the water. He's like underneath the river walk and sees her and grabs her, thinking she's in danger, and pulls her under. And you can see all of the skulls and bones of the dead people that were murdered years before when the monsters came.
I'm just gonna stare at it.
I know. That could just be also like a part of the cover. It's pretty awesome.
It's every page. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty cool. It's not a Bird City exclusive.
I wish it was. I wish this was ours, but
yeah,
no, this is just cover A, and these are some of the interior pages that we're showing you guys.
But they're able to order from cover A. They're able to order from you guys from Bird City.
You guys can hit up Anthony. He can get all that stuff in.
Yeah,
we'll make sure our Friday show that'll be the FOC. We'll make sure to put up the numbers and letters to
to order. If not, we'll post it on our Instagram. So to remind everybody, what is the artist's name again? And see on Instagram.
Yeah, Victor Ibanez with an I. So VICTOR IBANEZ.
If you want, I think it's on the Laura. If you go back to the first page, the cover. Wait, no, too much. Yeah, it's right there, Ibanez.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, there you go, guys. But we'll put it in the description as well for the show so that you guys can go back and find it. But there's one more interior page, and Lucy and I were talking about this before we went live. And guys, we're at about 45 viewers right now. Do not go anywhere, because after this, we're going to play a little game with Dennis. Little friendly competition is kind of our thing on Fridays here. So.
It's a first-time game. It's not a game you guys have seen before.
It's a first-time game. I'm very excited. But, all right, let's see. This page, the art, again, incredible, but what's happening here? Like, can you let people know a little bit about what these panels are showing?
Yeah, so the one on the far left is just Victor's cover for issue 3, I think, where we see a little bit of Lupe's past. So she's like a little girl there. The small inset panel that's on the right and the top right is Rico, the boy's grandfather, about to kill his grandmother because the monsters have eaten her brain. So that is a monster like stealing her sanity in that panel. And then the other one is Lupe and a bunch of the monsters but it happens at a spot in the book that I can't explain. So that is a big plot point later in the series, or later in the issue.
Yeah,
But
don't tell us then.
yeah,
Sure.
but yeah, that's what the monsters look like essentially. I think that's her. It's like Lupe is representing a quarter if you're showing how big something is by putting a quarter next to it. Like that is one small street version of the monsters that destroyed our society.
Yeah, this cover reminds me. Lucy, what's it called again? The title?
It's the Nightmares of Lolita Nita. It's from Philadelphia. It's one of the
spin-offs.
It's a spin-off of Philadelphia,
The
but
chat will know. It reminds me so much of that. It has that
The
same
Nightmares.
really simplistic horrifying artwork done there, and I think it's so cool. Somebody in the chat, you guys know what I'm talking about. You know the one with the nightmare. Is it called Blog? I can't remember.
yeah, I'm gonna look for it right now.
Oh my gosh, I am not going to cheat. Okay, I don't think I can cheat on this game. Can I?
No, it's impossible, and I'm bad at it. So
It's not impossible. I can probably figure out how to cheat.
I-
Okay.
yeah.
Nita Hawes. There we go. Thank
they
you.
call me
That was-
Bruce. Thank you very much.
Yes, they call me Bruce. That's his money betting on me to win. All right.
Quick question though.
Yeah.
So when you write, do you ever like sketch out visuals, or do you have like a sense of like, do you write like, is it like the Marvel way where you just write it and then the artist goes, or do you kind of have like, I kind of want to see this, or?
It depends on the artist. Once I'm really comfortable with an artist, and if they're an artist that wants to kind of take the reins with stuff, I will very much switch to Marvel style, especially with like big action stuff. In Spider-Woman, Javier and I got to a place where for the action scenes, he would always take what I wrote, even if I wrote full script, and make it 10 times more brilliant, because he did this, like, he would do crazy full page layouts where the story was like a puzzle box that was being unraveled. And so I realized, like, I just need to get out of this man's way. So on those, I'd be like, you got 3 pages, here's kind of what happens, and he would blow me away every time. And then when I was doing more elaborate conversation, I would describe facial expressions and, you know, like kind of the back and forth and let him go. Other people prefer to have much more detailed, broken down stuff just because it's faster. And that's my instinct. My instinct is to write it, describe everything that's in my head, but I always put a note at the beginning of the script, like, hey, I trust you more than me. Anything you want to do or change or twist in this, please do. Or if I feel like my idea's not the best, but this is all I can think of, I'll say that. Because, you know, comic scripts are kind of a letter to the artist before they're anything else. And I always go back in after it's drawn and do a full lettering draft with no panel descriptions to make sure what's drawn is actually like the point, and rework it around that. So yeah, like ideally you'd be sitting in the room with the person and you would just toss stuff back and forth until you figured it out, and then go that route. But because you can't do that with people, like Javier lives in Spain, it's gonna be hard for me to do. Or not, Javier lives in Spain, but Victor lives in Spain too. So it becomes like a pen pal situation where you're just tossing ideas back and forth. But on this, Victor and I talk every day. So like I'll send him a full script that's detailed, but he knows when he's reading it, he can send me a thumbnail or ask me a question or be like, hey, you're a dumbass. We're not doing that. We're gonna do this instead. And we trust each other. So it works really well.
That's awesome. So Karen has a question. Dennis, are you able to draw?
I mean, my hands function. I don't draw well. I do sometimes do layouts just to make sure what I'm asking for is possible, but I don't show them to anyone. That's just so that I'm not like being mean to the artist and asking for something impossible. Yeah, I wish I could draw.
We should have played Pictionary with them. Damn it. I thought about it too. I thought about making you do Pictionary. Oh my gosh, you guys are spoiling us tonight. Again, thank you guys so much for the support. We appreciate it so much.
Okay, here you go. Your music dance.
All right, Dennis, what's your dance move? Do you got a dance too?
I don't have a dance move.
Yeah,
I mean, I can do the finger dance move.
Yeah,
that's good.
So it's like this.
And dance. 1, 2, 3.
Or just plan.
All right. Let's play our game. I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
So, guys, there's about 50 people in the house right now. Make sure that you are following Dennis on Instagram. I think Lucy put all of his social media stuff in the description. So, click away, find him. We got some extra time on FOC. We will, of course, make sure that we remind you as we get closer, but support that book. Dennis is an incredible writer, and he's brought so many great stories to the community, to the whole spiel. So, all right, Dennis, we got to decide who your teammate's going to be. So I'll be number 1, Lucy be 2, Jen, you'll be 3. So Dennis, call one of the 3 numbers.
What?
Pick 1, 2, or 3.
2.
All right, you got Lucy.
Okay.
Jen, you're with
Sorry,
me.
we are about to lose.
Jen, she's like, shit.
I don't know what the game is, and I feel like the stakes are low, so we're gonna be okay.
Okay. I'll let Jen explain the rules, but the game's called Read My Lips. Jen, how's it work?
Do you want to say it?
You go ahead and start now.
Okay. So this stems from a radio show in Chicago that was doing this where they had a pane of glass in front of them, and one person said the word
with a muted mic,
and then the other one had to guess what they were saying.
Okay.
And Britt and I were like, hey, let's play this. And Britt got 90% of the words, and I got 0. But it was fun. And I'm
shit,
like,
I want to trade partners.
What?
You got 0, right?
Too late.
Yeah, I didn't get any. It's hard. Like,
Okay.
it's hard.
Okay, Dennis, we have a chance. We have a chance then. We have a chance to win then.
So we'll model the first one. Let's do round 1.
So round 1 is going to be superhero or supervillain names, and then we'll go a little bit harder and do movie titles, and then we'll go a little bit harder and do like short phrases that are related to the comic or comic movie.
See, right there, I'm saying like we should have gone easy the whole way through. It's hard.
Jen,
Let's do it. Let's do it. Don't be chicken.
So
well, if it's too hard the first round, I'll just come up with something on the fly, and we'll do it that way.
Okay.
Jen, do you want to go first, or you want me to?
Okay, wait. So how does she show it to me? But then
She's gonna put it in the private chat for whoever's turn it is. Dennis, you know how to work the private chat, right?
2, 3 chances.
Yeah, let's say 3 chances.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna put my mic on mute.
You're gonna go on mute? Okay, so Jen's going first. I'm putting you on the big screen. Sorry.
I
have to be able to see your lips.
I know. Okay. So you're trying to guess what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She's gonna tell me, hey, I'm gonna put you in a mute.
Easy. Dennis and Lucy are gonna lose. This is easy. Just make sure you enunciate, like really use your mouth, like blah. Okay.
You guys ready?
I am ready. Baby. Maybe.
Come on. I think I got it.
Hold on, Lucy, you can't say anything. Jen, do it slow. Crazy.
No. Come on, Laura.
This is hard.
Wait, it's a superhero name.
Oh, okay. You didn't say that at the beginning.
Yes,
Your
she,
name.
yes, she did.
No, they didn't. They left that
Yeah,
part out.
did.
We get to start
No.
over. Our time
Peter.
starts over because they didn't say that at the beginning.
Cheater. You see it, Dennis? This is
Batman?
how she cheats.
Batman. Woo! Batman!
But
Oh.
it took you a couple.
I got it at the
But
first time
hold
she
on,
said
you
it.
guys didn't say it was superhero name.
Oh, okay.
How many
Yes,
times-
you did because I knew.
So you get 3 chances.
Okay, now we've established that, but we still get the point.
No, you don't.
Yes,
You took
we
too
do.
long. Like,
We
you
were
see how she
establishing the rules. Dennis, do I get the point?
Nah, Dennis. Don't.
You can have the point. It was obviously Batman. If you had known the direction, I
Right?
think you would have got it.
Right?
Okay,
So
so
it looks like she's going baby. All right.
we'll type it into and so you guys have to click on the comments, not the private chat if you're not playing.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So Dennis, you go to the private chat right now.
Okay.
It's your turn to mouth the word to Lucy.
Okay. So someone's going to give me a
Right.
word. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh,
That's-
mute.
Yeah, so you're gonna type it, but I'm not gonna guess it. We can't guess it. It's
No, we
only-
just watch, Jen. Only Lucy.
Just put your mic on mute, Dennis. If
Oh.
you know how to do that in the bottom.
Am I making this up or something? Am I going to get
You're
Chatter.
gonna,
You're gonna-
click on private chat.
Yeah, I'm on private chat.
Okay, cool. What's?
Here comes your word. Don't mess up.
Well, no, it's okay. I can see it. Okay. Lucy can't see it.
Yeah, Lucy's the only one who
Okay.
can't see it. Oh, there it is. You see it?
Spider-Wen.
What?
What the
Wait,
fuck?
Right?
Wait, say
Spider-Wen?
it again.
Spider-Wen.
Is
What are
she-
you saying, Lucy?
Spider-Wen. Right? Spider-Wen?
Are you saying it?
When?
I don't think you're saying it right.
I thought he's saying no. I read spider and then when.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You were saying.
But you have to say it right.
What do you mean?
Is Spider-Wen a character?
Spider-Wen. Spider-Wen. Spider-Wen.
It's
Okay,
a character.
we know
Think
what
about a
Charlie's
character
saying.
that sounds like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Spider-Woman? So wait, what? What do you mean? Spider-Wen.
She got it. It just said it
Spider-Wen.
weird. You said
Yeah,
it weird.
I think if you got a point, we get a point because
Hey, it's my accent. It's
Yeah,
my accent,
that's
okay?
right.
Okay, yeah.
You were saying Spider-Woman. You know, we'll give it to you guys. We'll give you guys the point. It's fine.
It's my accent,
I
okay? I
think
can't say it right.
Yeah. So I have to
need
look
to
it
see.
up.
That's what it.
And okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna type it
When?
in,
And then go back to comments.
and you're gonna
Comments.
send it,
Yeah.
and then type, and then go to comments.
All right. You ready?
Oh, wait. Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay, hold on. I gotta mute my mic.
Jen is dying. Oh wait, no, she's covering it. I thought she was
Yeah,
laughing at me.
look, I'm not a cheater.
Okay, Laura, did you
All right,
get it?
Jen, I'm ready, Jen. Jen.
Can I look?
Yeah,
You can look.
Okay.
Okay. Oh God. Okay, I'm looking. Wait, was that a superhero name?
It's either superhero or supervillain. It's just a character name.
But that
Oh
was
my
like
God, I
two
got it.
words.
No, I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
okay. Okay, wait. Start over. What?
No, you cheaters. You
No,
guys.
I'm not cheating. I'm just trying to like. Okay, how many? Okay. Poor Deadpool. Avi. I don't know.
Do we get an extra turn?
One
Because
more.
Dennis talked.
No,
I didn't hear
he
him
didn't
talk.
say any.
I think Dennis said a word, so I get an extra turn.
No, he didn't.
I didn't say the word.
You see how she cheats?
It's okay. Like, can it be? Is it a hero or a villain?
She already said.
No
she already said it.
No hint.
No.
2 words. That's your hint. It's 2 words.
She's saying like 4.
No, I'm not.
Syllables.
Oh, you're announced. Okay.
Britt, don't help her. Cheaters. Ball.
Like poor boy Avi is
That's
poor boy Avi.
Hey,
I don't
that's
know
it.
if you're
Time
a
out.
villain, poor boy
Time.
Avi.
All right. You guys
Time.
can steal. Dennis,
Time.
Lucy.
Poison Ivy.
Yes!
Oh shit!
That was like, I feel like that was crystal clear. Porous Javi? No, but you were close.
Ivy.
Look at the rage in Laura's eyes. Poison. Fine.
Oh,
Porous Jovi. Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Oh my god. Okay, my turn. Oh gosh. Here you go.
I'm sorry.
My
I'm really bad at
I
this
swear,
game.
my accent is not gonna
We're
help
still
us. I'm
tied.
sorry. I couldn't
We're
say
still tied.
Spider-Wen.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so who's gonna be in
Me.
the chat? Who's
Me.
Okay, so
Let's
Lucy.
see.
Dennis has to guess it.
Get ready. Oh my god. Let me mute my mic. Hold on.
Porous Ivy. Poison Bivy? Poison Jivy? Ugh. Ugh. I love you, Jen. All right, there it is. I got it.
It's tough, right?
Okay. John Josh?
A superhero named Josh?
Okay.
How about we can give hero or villain? Would that help?
Yes.
Hero.
Hero.
It's a hero? Oh, okay.
No.
Josh Wang. Judge Dredd?
It's hard, isn't it? Aren't you guys?
It's way harder than I would have thought.
All right, do just the first letter. Like, try just to do I did poison perfectly. I said poison.
You should have said villain. Okay, how about the one hint hero or villain? And then I think I could have gotten it. No, I wouldn't have.
Doctor? Doctor Strange.
Damn it!
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but they don't get the point. They had too many tries.
What? What? Shut up.
No, you guys get the bloody point. It's fine. He got it. Dennis was focused. Is all.
It is way harder than it looks like it's going to be.
Because you're like,
I just feel like my accent and I get nervous, so it's thicker. So I don't know if it was gonna.
round.
This round would be movie titles.
Okay.
So do we want? But they're all superhero / comic movie titles.
Are they
so it's still a theme?
Is it 1 or 2 words, or is it 3 words?
It's however many words are in the movie title, Jennifer.
Well, Lucy held up her hands and said 2. So Jen, you can do that.
Say what?
Right?
Lucy went 2 to Dennis, and Dennis was like, "Oh, 2 words." No.
Oh, we can do that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say
we
we
can
can
do
do
that.
that. That's fair.
Okay.
I didn't say
All right.
anything.
And then hero or villain? Or is that not a thing for titles?
Not a thing for titles.
Okay,
I'll
so
give you a couple of
This is
clues.
for Laura, so I have to.
Okay.
This game is really hard.
I wasn't told I was supposed to drink or I wouldn't be sober.
You can drink anytime. You were on with us on Fridays. So, Dennis, just to clarify, we are tied 2 to 2. And
Okay.
we'll see what happens.
No, you're not. You liar. No, Dennis, don't believe her. She's a
Okay,
cheater.
okay.
The chat
I
is
can
not
look at
lying.
Okay.
Okay, it's possible you guys are winning by 1.
Wait.
I'm keeping track. They're winning.
What's my word?
Thank you.
Oh. Why didn't you look then if it's your word?
So I can look, right?
Yes, you
Okay.
have to look. I don't.
Oh, come on.
Wait, it's my
Okay.
turn?
So
It's Jen. She's so
okay,
confused.
are you guys ready? Laura, are you ready?
I am
Can I just
ready.
do right away? Can I just do
Just do it. I got this.
it's hard. Okay, ready?
Okay. Take a deep breath. You got this. Hold up your fingers for how many words first? 3 words. Okay, I got you, girl. Let's go. Something of something. Martians of Macy's. Martians of Macy's.
Seriously, is that a movie? Is that a movie?
Hold on.
Sounds like a great movie.
Right? Your next book idea.
Multi of.
You're cheating, huh? You're cheating. You're looking at the chat.
I'm not. Look at my eyes. Oh, sorry, that was loud into the mic. Wait, does the chat guess? Does the chat? Now I want to look at the chat. Shit. Okay, I won't look at the chat. Do it again. Molly. Damn it! I have no freaking clue, Jen. I got the of.
Do you guys want to steal? Or do you see it?
I saw it.
I saw it.
It's
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, I said that at the beginning.
Yeah,
You did say that.
We're honest. We did. I know. We need a timer.
Damn, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not good at this game. I'm not good at this game at all. All right, Dennis, you're back up. We are
My turn again? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Damn, Jen, it's okay. We're only down by 1 point.
see.
I got the of though.
Okay.
Multiverse. Of.
okay, so Lucy, don't look.
Mm-mm.
Oh, Bullfrog Comics got it. So did Bruce. Wait for it, Dennis. It's not in yet. Hold on. Oh, that one's easy.
Infinity of Infinity Wars. Because-
I mean, she added an S. Should we give it to her?
Shut up.
I don't know. It's Infinity War
I
singular.
feel bad because.
No, it's fine. Damn it, you guys are really good at this.
Wait, what? How hard is it? How many words is it? 4?
No, I have to do 4 words. Yay! Dennis is kicking our ass anyways.
Wait, I look away, right?
Yeah, you look away.
Dennis is a stone cold killer. Look at him. He's not even showing any emotion as he whips our ass on our own show. It's fine.
You know, Chad, I'm good at
Tell me what?
because
All right, Laura, you got it?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
All right.
This is an easy one. Oh, I should mute myself, huh?
I'm good because I was so nosy as a kid and I wanted to know what the adults were talking about, so I will read the lips.
You're whispering private conversations. I
That's
thought
what-
Dennis would be crap at this because we're taking his words away and he's a writer. See how that's like tragic? But it's not working. All right, ready, Jen?
2 words. Okay. Mulan? Wait. West Coast?
Her eyes, Laura's eyes are gonna freaking pop out.
Okay, hang on. One more time. Milai?
Aww.
I got it. I didn't read it,
Or
but
no? Can I have a hint? Can you give me a hint?
it's 2 words.
It's 2 words.
That's
There you
it?
go.
Okay, is it superhero or sci-fi?
Superhero.
they're all superhero movies.
Okay.
What are you working on?
I got it. I didn't read the chat,
I'm trying.
and I know what it is.
Okay.
It looks like
Dennis,
Midnight
real
Winslow.
slow. I'm gonna try to say it.
You-
as
you-
do it. Ready?
Dennis, you don't know what she's saying?
Ready?
I figured it out, but it looks like
Okay.
Midnight Winslow.
Yeah.
Milan?
It's a super.
Milan. Where's your multiverse?
All right, Lucy, Dennis, you guys can steal because I'm about to just like.
What is it?
Black Widow.
Oh!
It took me a second to figure it out, but I did.
Oh my gosh, look at the chat. Laura will smash the PC. Oh, maybe I should look into the camera instead of looking at you because I'm looking at you. Maybe I should look at you guys. I'll try that. Damn
What do
it.
you mean?
Laura's.
I'm so sorry. It's hard. I'm not good at this. And like the thing is that again, Grace got like 90% of them. And I got 0.
That is so funny. Oh my
Fine.
gosh.
It's
So
fine.
we won.
Do you guys
We
want to
won.
do one more round where if any of us, whoever guesses Dennis is first, we win? So all the girls get to play, and whoever guesses what Dennis says first,
Okay.
says first. So,
Okay, let's do it.
So
Okay,
you didn't win
You
then.
guys don't. You have to go. Everyone has to go to the comments.
Let's see.
You can't cheat.
I'm gonna blow my screen
Okay.
up so I don't see it.
So go ahead, Brittany.
Okay, does that start now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Are you doing a phrase? Are you doing a hero? Or
This is the last movie, so do we want to do the next one? Is like all the phrases and you guys work together, or what do we want to do?
Yeah, do a phrase. We'll work together, and whoever gets it first. No, I don't want to work together. Actually, whoever gets it first wins.
Okay.
It's fixed. Thank you. How much?
I don't want to work together as a team.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you did great. You did great. You did. Sorry, Dennis. I get really
Okay.
competitive with
I love
games.
Yeah, you can look.
Okay.
4
4
words.
words. Okay.
What?
Hold on. Run, Forrest, run.
Run,
Run,
Flash.
Flash. Run,
No,
Flash.
no, again.
The Flash runs fast.
Flashpoint. Flash. What? I got Flash, but I didn't see what it was yet. What was it again?
The Flash runs fast.
Oh,
Champion.
I just saw Flash, but I couldn't figure out the rest. So I guess
That was so good.
It's hard to enunciate the.
yeah.
So you guys like this game? I keep doing this? in the
Loved
future?
it.
I
Loved
liked it. It's hard, but I'm not good at. If I'm the one saying the word, I'm not good.
Jessica.
What did Jessica say? Dang.
Shit, dang, I'm a little ashamed she's not my sister.
You got disowned during this game. Disowned.
Drunka vision.
Wait.
Like, I can do that. Damn it.
Right.
All right, I have 3
Right.
more phrases. Do we want to do them?
Yeah, let's make Dennis do them.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
he does.
He's actually quite good. All right.
All right, Jen, turn it on.
Okay.
1 for 8. Okay. Man, this chat's talking so much. Hey, Bird City, what'd you miss? I just won the game.
How many?
No, she didn't. I did.
Words are in the phrase.
And Dennis.
Oh, that was.
You and Dennis were a good team. Not gonna lie.
Oh,
You guys.
Yep, go ahead.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
4 words. 4 words.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, Jesus. What?
Nap.
Say it one more time. Thanos?
Thanos.
Thanos.
Snaps.
His
His
fingers.
Fingers. No, I said first.
No. I said it second.
Lucy and I tied. We'll say we tied.
Okay. So
Okay.
You did a great
how many
job.
more phrases is there?
2
That
more.
was good.
One more. Do another one.
Okay.
Jen, you haven't gotten a single one.
Flash
Okay.
Thanos.
Okay, no, Laura, you do one and Dennis, so Dennis can try to guess now.
Oh, you want? Oh, all right.
Wait, so who can't look at the chat?
I'm looking at the chat.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. This is a hard one though.
Come on, you can do it.
Wait, how many words is it?
It's 5.
We can do it. Yes, we can do it. Come on.
This isn't like a common
Come on.
phrase. All right, all right.
The Batman.
Mad Max. Dang it, my screen's glitching. Again.
The Batman.
Bold.
Ho. Bean.
Okay, let me think. Mobile.
Batmobile?
The Batmobile.
Lost its wheel.
Is that it? The Batmobile? You got one.
Sorry.
Jen
I wouldn't have
got
gotten
one.
that.
Sorry.
Dennis walked you through half of it, but you got it. That was good. That was good.
Why you guys didn't get so loud? I didn't got one.
You guys.
The Batman likes beans. No.
I'm crying. I'm so happy.
You're so down. Dennis helped you halfway though. So it's a team effort right there.
No, I am actually extremely competitive if I let myself be. So I have to not let myself be. Kyle Strom, who you guys know, when I had a day job, he and I would play this low rent games by email version of Risk. And we played 5 or 6 a day all the time. Nobody else would play with us because we would use them as weapons. Like we'd trick other players into attacking each other. But we try to play in person, like have a game night and play in person. And no one will play with us because we're yelling at everyone and yelling at each other and trying to manipulate the board. So I too am extremely competitive. I'm just not going to do that on camera. That'd be really embarrassing.
He's like, Laura does it. What?
I think we should all play at Comic-Con.
I would be down.
That would be
Dennis,
fun.
can I ask you a question and you have to answer honestly?
Okay.
Have you ever taken a bill or two from the bank when nobody was looking while playing Monopoly?
I've never played a complete game of Monopoly, but because my parents hated board games, so we were not allowed to finish one. But absolutely, I cheated at every game that I played until I was probably 16.
Thank you.
Now you're not
Oh my god, you too. Seriously.
So when you
'cause
played
Laura's
Battleship,
the
you would
same.
move your ship around? Is that your ship?
Yeah, we used to play. What's the game where you match the cards as a little kid? Like you have to figure out where stuff is.
Match.
Guess who?
No, it's like you flip them over and there's like pictures and you find the.
Oh,
the hell's that called?
Oh, okay. I
It's
know.
just called matching.
The memory?
Memory. Yeah, memory.
Memory.
We played on a glass table, and so I would lay down as a little kid and look underneath the glass table and then cheat that way. I'm sure my mom knew I was doing it. And as a parent, I think in hindsight, there's no way that I was getting away with that. But yeah, I cheated bad.
Yep, we're peas in a pod. I'm happy. I've never met anybody who admitted to cheating. I mean, they're just board games. Doesn't even count. All right. Every week, we like to end the show on a Vana of the week. It's kind of our thing. It's a funny quote or meme. And Dennis, you picked this week's. So do you want to go ahead and read it for us?
Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death, which is from Dune, obviously. I used to sneak this into as many comics as I could. Anytime there was like a science character or a nerd character, I would have them say it because I love it. It's like one of my favorite quotes ever. But they made a blockbuster movie out of it, out of Dune. So now I feel a little bit weird about it now because it's not as deep in the weeds nerdy. But yeah, it's I love it. I think it's true. Like we get in our own way when we're scared of stuff, and it also is my girlfriend pointed this out earlier, but it is sort of the theme of Hard Eyes. Like as the book goes on, fear and how it gets in your way is a huge theme in the book. So that's why I chose it.
It's so true, though. That is, when I read that one, when you sent it, I was like, oh my God. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to take away your beautiful poetic poem for a second because I want to know, now that you put that up, what are you most afraid of? And nothing like sentimental, like losing your hair. What scares you?
Snakes. I hate snakes. They're serpents. They're demons from hell, and I hate them. And I don't understand why people have them as pets. I don't understand why we allow them to live. There is a horrifying room at the zoo that the people go in that I won't go in that is full of glass cages with snakes. Snakes are awful.
Yes, I agree with you. And we live in the desert, so that's like my fear. And thank God I have never come across one, like I would, because I'll freak out.
You've never seen a snake in California?
No, not in person, no. Not
One
like
tried to eat
me
my
seeing
pug
it.
out front. It was slithering around. We live in Arizona, so it was like a rattlesnake, and you could just hear the rattle going off. And I was like, "Oh, geez." It was.
Nope.
No, just by thinking. I'm in Palm Springs, different deserts. So in California, I hate them. I hate them. That's why there's so many trails and people go, and I never go because I'm so afraid of coming across one. No, thank you.
Yep, they're awful. My kids have snake toys that they try to scare me with because they know that I hate them.
If you just stand still, they leave you alone, right? Like on A Million Ways to Die of the West, you don't move at all. You freeze.
Isn't that a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Oh, maybe. No, maybe.
Then you're dead.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just from Jurassic Park.
Well, I might be wrong. So, Laura, why did you just stand there while you got bitten millions of times by a rattlesnake?
Yeah, I don't like snakes either. I felt as a kid seeing Indiana Jones be afraid of snakes, and then having that seeing when my favorite one was one with Sean Connery, the Grail. When he, as a kid, fell into that pit of snakes. Ugh.
Yeah, that's no. I hate that scene. I don't like watching it. I don't like snakes on anything. Even like the Chamber of Secrets. It's not a very realistic snake, but I don't like it. I don't like it when it bites Harry. It bothers me. Not a fan.
Yeah. Oh, just thinking about them, I'm like, I feel weird. Yeah. No.
All right. Before we let you go, where are you going to be? Do you have any cons coming up? And remind everybody again where to find you on social media.
Yeah, I have. I probably will do some of the fall cons. I've been really bad about it because we've been promoting Hard Eyes so hard and trying to finish the book. I'm doing a day of release signing for Hard Eyes here in Kansas City at Elite Comics on the August 17th. That weekend, I'll be in Annapolis outside of Baltimore at Third Eye Comics doing a weekend signing there. And then I've got I think it's in July, there's a small con here that run by my buddies called Fountain City Comic Con. I'll be doing that. And then I'll post the bigger later cons that I'm going to be doing. You can find me at Dennis Hopeless Comics on Instagram. I think it's Dennis Hopeless Comics on TikTok if you want to see my stupid videos. And then Hopeless Dent is my dumb Twitter handle I came up with before I knew that I would use it for business. So yeah, those are the best places to find me.
Yeah, we did add the links to your Twitter and Instagram. So if you guys go in, it will take you straight to his social media.
Perfect. And yeah, the chat loved you guys. Thanks so much for coming out and supporting him. And make sure you keep your eye out for Hard Eyes. That'll be coming out. Well, you have time. You have a few weeks. We'll remind you as we get closer. But
Yeah,
definitely,
tell your retailer, please.
Yes.
The Vault is a fantastic company, but they're like a young, new company up and coming. So not every retailer orders super heavy, but you should. Their books are fantastic. And yeah, so please ask your retailer. There's still time.
Indie stories is kind of where it's at for me right now. Like I've been loving indie stuff lately. So yeah. And again, shout out to Cover Price. If you haven't already, use code Nerdvana14 for 30 days of their unlimited membership for 99 cents. And Bird City Comics is running a buy one, get one free sale on select exclusives. So check them out as well. And if you haven't already, visit their Instagram at Bird City Comics, because we are doing a giveaway. It's 2 Sozo Mica ratios plus $100 like gift card to use on the site. And all you have to do is tag some friends and make sure you're subbed to the text line. Easy peasy. Girls, anything to add before we let everybody go?
I'll be oh my god, on Sunday I'll be on they do a YouTube auction, and oh my god, I'm trying to remember. And it's, I don't know if you guys, some of you guys know him. It's Sans group, and they call it the C for cookie. And they all their, I'm trying to find their social media. But yeah, Sans group collectibles. So if you guys follow him on YouTube, they do auctions. And they invited me to go on Sunday. I think it's at my time. I think it's 6 p.m. Pacific or 5. I can't remember, but I'll post it on my Instagram.
Very
Yeah.
good.
On July 9th, I'll be selling at my first, it's a mini con. It's actually right across the street from Fan Expo. Fan Expo is for 4 days at Rosemont, but July 9th, across the street at a hotel in 2 ballrooms, is going to be Big Monster Con. And so I'm splitting a table with somebody. So it'll be my first time selling at a mini con.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
All right, hold on. I'm just thanking everybody for the super chats. And that is it for us tonight. You guys have a great weekend. Have an amazing 4th of July. We will be back Tuesday with another amazing episode of Comic Book Women. So we'll see you guys then. Yeah, be safe, and we'll see you later.
Thanks, guys.